He is Chris Rose. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. That's why we love having him on the show, and that's why he is on the show right now. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Christopher.
Hello, boys. Happy opening week.
Happy opening week. I had an epiphany about you over the weekend as I was watching Utah and UCLA, and that the stadium that they named after your family there in Pasadena, which I think is outstanding, it was weird. It didn't look like the Rose Bowl to me as I was watching the game, and I'm like, well, I better call Chris to see if he can fix that because it's his stadium in Pasadena, right?
Yeah, that hasn't worked. I've tried that several times to walk in and,
Don't you know who I am? That would have been good.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. For people that don't know, the Rose Bowl is right in the middle of a Pasadena neighborhood. And just kind of appears out of nowhere.
It's weird, though. Like, as I was watching that game this weekend, they did all kinds of renovations, and I'm like...
It sounds like you are blaming me, but that's okay.
It's all right.
I'll take it. I don't mind.
The real Rose Bowl is on 91, and they call that University School. Put a couple bleachers up there. That's the true Rose Bowl.
That's adorable.
There you go.
That's adorable.
All right, you got to watch the Browns. Listen, you got to watch the Browns firsthand with the best seat in the house for 3 games in the preseason. What are your realistic expectations for this team this year?
I mean, not great. We're in a really good division. I just did on Labor Day, we finished up the top 100 countdown, right? It's the players voting for their fellow players. And the AFC North had 7 of the top 14 players in the league as voted on by their peers. I mean, think about that for a second. Half of the best 14 players in the league reside in one division, including 2 quarterbacks, a wide receiver, 3 pass rushers. Like, it's pretty impressive. And I do think that the Browns will be significantly better offensively. For God's sakes, they can't be any worse. We average 15 points a game, and I would rather have, had a weekly root canal last year than watch the offense at times.
Have you ever had nitrous oxide? You might think twice about that. But keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. I had to carry a tank with me just to get through work sometimes to watch them. So it'll be a better product. I know I hate to say this because you want to have, particularly in a league where every year since 1990, 4 new teams make the playoffs, and you sit there and you go, well, can we be one of them? Well, I think the only way we are is if we somehow get through that gauntlet the first 6 weeks at 500, and a couple of those have to be divisional wins. We would have to win this week. We would have to beat Pittsburgh, in my opinion. So, but I am optimistic in terms of kind of where we're going as a franchise.
Chris, early on in the show, we were talking about like big picture look at this. And I'm trying to be really optimistic about this year because it's going to be fun. I mean, we love watching the Browns. We love watching the NFL. We want to see what they can do. The minute they traded down and picked up that extra number 1 for next year from Jacksonville, the thought entered my head. I think it probably entered everybody's head. Okay, well, they're positioning themselves for next year's draft to get a quarterback, which makes me think, okay, are you just going through the motions this year to get to next year? Which makes you think, all right, you need to win a lot of games? Wouldn't it be better to lose a lot of games? And I find myself just a little perplexed because I'm rooting for him, but I also am thinking, man, I sure would like to have my pick of quarterbacks. How do you approach all that?
Yeah, I mean, you would be ridiculous if you didn't watch LSU and Clemson last week.
Yep.
If you didn't watch the Buckeyes in Texas, certainly rooting for Ohio State, but being curious to see what Arch Manning can do. If you're not watching Lenore Stellars in South Carolina every week, then you're probably doing yourself a little bit of a disservice, right? But I'll push back on this. Nobody tanks. Players don't tank.
Nope.
Because coaches don't tank. And there's no way that Kevin Stefanski and his staff are getting ultimatums that this is what we have to do now. Would it be smart for them at some point this year to let Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders get snaps? Absolutely. But that's called building your team. I mean, that's how you do it. Everybody, all 32 teams think they can win the Super Bowl today. Not all of them honestly believe it. And that's okay. You can try and win every week and still try and set yourself up for the future. Somebody's going to be picking first next year. And that team probably, if you asked them today, do you think you can win the Super Bowl, would answer yes. Like, I just don't get it. Like, tank for what? If you tanked for a quarterback in 2021, you have an 80% chance, that if you took him in the first round, he'd be on his third team today. We're in our fifth season since 2021. So it doesn't make any sense to do it.
Well said. I agree. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and goes, I want to be a bad football player. I want to be a bad coach. Speaking of coaches then, when you look at what Kevin Stefanski has in front of him, I got to think he's got to be excited to work with Joe Flacco, because I think Joe gave him, just a gigantic boost. And, if you talk to anybody who was in the locker room at that time, he changed the environment the last time he was here. And, if you're Kevin, what are you expecting out of Joe this year? What's a good season for Joe?
Well, what he does is he gives you a chance, okay? And Deshaun Watson did not give you a chance at times last year, most times, and hasn't done so since they traded for him. So, and the fact that he can run Kevin's offense effectively, I think is nice for Kevin. And I think he feels like the backup quarterback right now can do that, although, in my opinion, with a limited ceiling. So the fact that Kevin gets to do stuff that he is comfortable with, that he feels like our offense is best suited to do, then that's going to be a big deal. Do I like where our running game's at to make sure this happens? No, I don't love it. I wish that Judkins was in with the team, but that's not going to happen. So you just hope that we have enough juice back there and consistency to be able to run the type of offense that Kevin wants to run.
If you're looking at this team, Chris, what position group gives you the most optimism for the season?
Well, it's a defensive line. I mean, that's going to be one of the best in the league. And not just because they've got such a freak to lead it. I love where Alex Wright has come, and I hope that they're able to retain him. But he's going to make money. I just hope he's still wearing an orange helmet next year and not one with stripes on it. He's really become a very, very good football player. I think where Isaiah McGuire has gone in the last year has been exceptional. You've got, when Jim Schwartz's defense were ruling the world in Philadelphia, he would have 8-9 guys that he would shuttle through there and just create mayhem. Now, I do think that Cincinnati's offensive line has gotten a bit better this year on the interior, but that's going to be a real challenge for them. I think we'll know out of the gate pretty quickly what sort of defensive front we've got, and I think it's really good.
Do me a favor. Tell me what rookie are you most looking forward to seeing play this year? Because I think that's no question.
Yeah, no question. It's a no-brainer. He is. He's going to be. I don't think he's as talented as Luke Kuechly, but that's what he does. He can do everything. He can run sideline to sideline. He can blitz. He can play the pass. He's really long. He's uber athletic. I think he's going to be, during one of our production meetings, Kevin told us it was like adding a fifth-year pro to the team. And you don't hear that.
No.
You might hear, we think he's got a chance to be real special. They're not going to throw that out there. You're talking about the guy who's coordinating the middle of the defense. That's pretty damn special. I think he's going to be great, and it's not going to shock me when he leads our team in tackles and leads all rookies in tackles. I think he's going to be great.
It's impressive to say that over Mason Graham and Harold Fannin too. I just think that's an interesting, because I didn't know outside of the quarterbacks again. Who knows if Quinchon can play or Dylan can play. There's that, but you also have the possibility of having 5 rookies on the field. If things kind of work out, I don't know if that says more about the draft class or if that says more about trying to build for the future. What do you think of that? The possibility of 5 rookies on the field at one point on offense and defense.
Well, I'm okay with it, number one, because you have to understand where the franchise is. It was the owner that came out and said we took a big swing and a miss with Deshaun. But the main part of the equation isn't just that we gave him $230 million guaranteed and he hasn't played up to that level. It's that we lost 6 valuable draft picks. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with them trying to swing for the fences, right?
Right.
The problem is when you miss big. And so we didn't have a first-round pick until this year. We went 3 straight years without one. We gave up, I believe, a couple of thirds, maybe, whatever. I don't remember exactly what it ended up being. But those are guys that could have grown up with this team, given us more depth. And it's the reason we had, whatever it is, 4 or 5 undrafted rookie free agents that made the team. Like that's just how you have to deal with it. And what it gives them is an incredible opportunity to show that they're worthy of it. And by the way, we need some of our middle picks to start clicking. We've released a couple of guys in Siaki Ika and Anthony Schwartz who were 3rd-round picks, and they were gone before year 3 of their respective deals. So these are guys that are going to have to start getting it done. And I actually am excited overall about the rookie class. I'm not just saying that. I do believe that this is the kind of the youthful foundation that whenever we do get that quarterback can help pivot the franchise.
Chris, I got time for one quick question. Browns beat the Bengals if what?
If our defensive backs don't get lit up.
Fair assessment.
Fair.
To me, that's the worry part for me.
Okay. Chris, enjoy the fantastic weather out there in Southern California. And please, some of the lawn needs to get mowed over there at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. And since it's your name, you better go take care of it. Thank you, Chris.
Well, I have to stop by Baskin Stadium and Phelps Field first and take care of their lawn.
That's true. Just go,
thank you.
Yeah, just walk in the store and tell me you want an ice cream. You'll be good to go. Tell them I sent you.
I don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, no, you're probably not.
All right, boys.
Goodbye, Chris.
See you, buddy.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, Chris Rose on the Fan Hotline.